And we back. Sakpase YouTube. Welcome back to KashPiece and welcome back to another episode of Cash's Covers. Today, we'll be covering the fifth cover story for One Piece. That's Wapol's Omnivorous Hurrah. Wapol's Omnivorous Hurrah is set between the Drum Island arc and the time skip and runs from chapter 236 to 262. And it came out between the years of 2002 and 2003. This story is briefly summarized in episode 778 of the anime, where several characters, including Wapol, are reintroduced into the story prior to the Reverie arc. We first meet Wapol back in the Drum Island arc, where the Straw Hat Crew's mascot, Dr. Chopper, is introduced. Wapol is the main villain of the Drum Island arc, and we last see him getting sent flying off. Actually, similar to how we see Buggy at the beginning of the first cover story review. Check that out here if you haven't seen it. Wapol has the Baku Baku no Mi, or the Munch Munch fruit, and basically, he can eat whatever he wants, any kind of material or actual food, and basically make it become either a part of himself, he can morph it and create something else with it, or create something within himself with it. Remember this, because it'll play a role later in the video. We meet Wapol now after he's landed and he's kind of, getting his bearings back. As we can see in the first couple chapters of this cover story, Wapol's really putting his fruit to work, with the second, third, and fourth chapters aptly being named I Eat a Tree, I Eat a Lamp, and I Eat a Bench. Wapol, thinking he's still on Drum Island, where he was literally the king, decides that he can do whatever he wants and is basically terrorizing the town. But he's not in Drum Island, and basically the townspeople don't give a damn that he's a king of a faraway land that they're not aware of, so he gets arrested. Meanwhile, on Drum Island, the Sakura Kingdom actually has a new king and is being ruled by our old friend Dalton. Wapol manages to escape, only to be left all alone, realizing now that his former kingly status really matters not. He quickly realizes that using his power to sell what he creates is going to be the only way that he's going to be able to eat now that he's dirt broke. Wapol, spending his nights under the bridge, finds some junk, and I guess he decides to eat that and decides to spit out a shiny new toy. The next day, the kids of the town discover all the toys that Wapol made underneath the bridge that night, and he decides that maybe he should start a toy shop, lemonade stand style. If you look at the sign, it's very clear that Wapol basically had to humble himself, because it started off as 1 million berries, and then he kept chopping off zeros until it got to 100 berries and then 50 berries per toy. This is actually a nice little Easter egg, potentially, where 50 berries is actually the first bounty that Chopper gets after a couple arcs from where this cover story is published in the One Piece story. So this might have been a little hint from Oda that the number 50 berries was going to play a role with a character that actually is related to Wapol. Even with the low price tag, business is really booming for Wapol, and soon he's able to get a real, actual, proper toy shop. Meanwhile, a young boy is showing his scientist son the new toy that he got from Wapol's toy shop, and this scientist has now realized what it is that makes these toys so special. Next chapter, we see that Wapol is being celebrated for his new discovery of a brand new alloy called Wapolium, or Wapol metal. After his newfound fame, the money keeps coming in, the business is doing even better, and he basically is able to open up the One Piece equivalent of Toys R Us. Things are certainly looking up now as he's able to build a factory where he can create his toys as well as Wapol metal. And the creation of this factory brings in a lot of investors, and those investors decide to pull their money together with Wapol to become a conglomerate. So now Wapol's basically at the top of the world. Living what can only be described as his best life, Wapol marries the One Piece equivalent of Miss Universe. And at the end of the story, he's actually more rich and powerful than he ever was as the king of Drum Island. At first, I was really happy to see Wapol suffering, I can't even lie, just because anytime that he was on screen in the Drum Island arc, I was like, wasn't a huge fan of the character. But being able to see him lose it all and really start from the bottom and grind his way back up to the top, like started from the bottom, now we here now, you know what I'm saying? During the time skip, world nobles actually grant Wapol and his wife, Miss Universe, aka Cinderella, a kingdom. And so he manages to actually become a king again during the time skip. So now he's the leader of Black Drum Kingdom, and this is the whole reason why he ends up going to the Reverie with a lot of the other world leaders. In the current story, Wapol is being chased by the world government. So if you want to see what's going on with that, definitely catch up on the story. I'll make a video on it pretty soon though. And if you like this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and check out the playlist right here for more of the One Piece cover stories if you missed any of the ones before this one. Thank you and have a blessed day.